All right, guess what I'm doing? I am out here on my fence line and we are fencing. And I'll show you what we've got. I've already done about 330 feet. You already seen that. But here we go, we are connecting, we're tying in together. Let me go over here. Fence sewing. Now, this is older fence, this is older fence. Starting up there is new fence. These are fencing that I've had, that I've gotten for free, that I've used. Now, I thought all my fencing was 5 foot, 4 foot. It's not. We got about 5 foot of fence back that way. Anyway, here's your sewing fencing. Sew these together, so now it becomes one fence. And now we're gonna hook this. I'm gonna show you my new little gadget I made up to carry my roll of fencing. I can't get the tractor no closer because there's an oak tree right there. But a couple years ago, if you see me do my fencing, I had a dolly and I put it welded a center post, steel post, to the plate down there. And I would pull up front. I didn't have the room I have here. Up front, we had a lot of oak trees, beautiful, and it was only about 5 foot wide, and I didn't have no way to get a tractor through. So I pulled all 660 feet of fencing with this. But for right this minute, I'm going to pull the fencing on the dolly over the tractor. We're going to raise the bucket up. I've got a jig I've made that we're going to hook up to the top of those bolts, those holes right here. I'll show you what we're going to do. Let me get this dragged over to there, and then we're going to use a tractor to pull the rest of it all the way up to that pine tree that's right here in the middle. Let me show you what I'm going to do here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a drill hole there, a drill hole there. Okay. Now, this bolt, let me get in front of the camera so I can see it. This bolt is going to pass through those two holes. But I have this that's stuck through there. What I'm going to do is I hook the chain to it, and what I'm thinking is going to happen is as I back up, this wire is going to be a roll through this all the time, keep spinning. Let me show you, let me hook it up so you really understand what I'm talking about. Alright, what's on here, I have a self-locking nut on the back side, so it can't unscrew on its own. Here we go. Alright, now the next goal is we're going to connect this chain to right here. So now I'm going to pick this up and move it over. Alright. Alright, let me lift this up. Alright, now what I'm gambling on is that I'm going to lift it up a little bit higher, get these wheels off the ground, off this dolly. So, raise it up, we're going to back up and see if I can drag this wire, unroll it safely. Here we go, we're going to raise this thing up more. And now let's just start backing up and see if we can't unload it. Well, we're going to have to do something different. Alright, I don't know if this is going to work. I had a piece of wire, I hooked it to there, wrapped it around the front bumper, and wrapped it right here. I'm hoping that this will be strong enough to keep this right where it needs to be as I pull. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Looks like it's going to work. I'm thinking if it didn't have that dolly on the bottom, it wouldn't be getting all bound up and it would be spinning on that axis up there. I just don't want to cut it off. It's all welded together. It's all got caught up inside here. Dang it. Alright, I'm going to have to take this off, and I am going to have to go back and I will cut that all off. Live and learn, guys. Live and learn. Alright, you can see I separated them. Those were screwed on and I welded it. You can see the weld marks on here. I cut the welds off. So now I have just this pipe. And my goal is that this is just going to swivel on this chain right here and spin to unravel. There's my mess. The inside last 2 feet just got all raveled up tight. See, I think what I was thinking was that the wire, even though it's setting on there, it would spin and leave that still, and I just never really thought it through. And it should have been done this way to begin with. So we'll see how it works this time around. Alright, as normal, I get carried away and don't turn cameras on. I was going to show you how I put this together. I made this. You can buy something like this in the stores, but I made this. It's a, I believe that's a 2x8 and a 2x4. I got bolts that go all the way through it. I've got eye hooks. I'll have to show you how this goes. But what happens is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts that go straight through, and you pick where you're going to push this through to pick the same exact line all the way through. Then you squeeze this together, slide it together, and bolt it. I don't ever bolt it too tight because I want the fence to slide around. As I pull, I want it to pull straight out. So as you can tell, it's there. I mean, we're close, but I've got to ratchet strap this, ratchet it up some more. I've got a hook to my tractor. It's this. Alright, there we go. And we're just going to keep on pulling it tight. Alright, now what I will do again, even though most of the way down you can see T-post ain't hit nothing. Let's make sure nothing's connected to it so everything's sliding good. Help, see? We're hooked right here. So we're going to take that off there. Alright, that slides. And then I can go ahead and shake the rest of them and I can see that they're not connected. Alright, so we're going to probably do maybe 2 or 3 more pulls with the ratchet. You remember where I cut the wire earlier? Because the roll's all messed up. I had to re-sew the wiring to this. That is the roll that was messed up. So, and you don't see much damage to it because we're pulling it all together and it pulls it straight. So let's do another big pull here. One more, it's getting tight. Alright, I think we're tight enough. So now what we're going to do is put staples in right here. Alright, and what this does is, an H-brace is where we put one end of fence. This is at the halfway point. So basically, this needs to be really strong and support where you can pull that way, and your fence can pull this way to keep everything nice and tight. So here's that. So now we're going to start on our T-post. There you go. I got a T-post that's a little twisted, but that's it. Alright, I'm done up to this point. It's 5:30. need to get in, tend to the animals. I lost probably about an hour, hour and a half messing with it when that thing messed up, or that roller. So I'll have to get back out here again tomorrow. I was hoping to get 2 rolls done today, but it looks good. Looks nice and straight. If you look down the way, you can see like the fence bows a little bit. It's because the ground goes up and down. But I'll show you how you tighten those up when we get done. It's pretty easy. The deer just walked by right here up at my corner. Let's go on up here and see if we can't see where they're at. Came across right here. So it should be down this trail. He's here. There she is. Should be one. There we go. That is the way I wanted to go the first time. We got it figured out now. So down here is where we had it sewed together from last night, where I had to cut it apart. We sewed the new link onto there, and now we're just going to go ahead and start pulling, stretching that all out, and I got one more roll over there. Okay, this is my fence stretching tool. My goal is, this comes in 2 pieces, okay? If you look, there's going to be a total of 2, 4, 5 bolts going all the way down, all right? What we need to do is, also, there's your eyelets, right there, 3 eyelets, and that tool will hook onto that, and we'll go from there after. But, our goal is, we're going to put these 5 bolts, all these 5 bolts have to go in the same row going down. That way when we tighten it down, it pulls the chain link the same pressure all the way through. So let me set this up so you guys can see what we're doing. Okay, this is all going to go in the same exact bolt row. That's your biggest thing that you need to do. Just make sure you're in the same row. And then we're going to put this back in here. Put those bolts through the holes in this board. It takes a little finagling, but it goes. There we go. I got my nuts and bolts, or my nuts and washers in my pocket. As you can see, I've got the 5 bolts, or 5 bolts in nuts through. Here's my eyelet. That other tool, that silver looking one, is going to hook to this, and then we'll have a come along to hook the tractor in there, and we'll pull it. I'm going to swing them around in here. There we go. Hook the come along up to it. Just make a few pulls to tighten everything up. Alright, now what I'm going to do is, about every fourth pole, I put the chain link fence over the top of the bob wire, on the T-post. I need to release that so it starts to pull it, but also now what I got to do is go through every one of my T-posts and make sure they're straight. I got my level, which just fell, and we're going to get all these leveled before we connect them to the fence. Alright, this one's done. Kind of where that pine tree is right there. Over to the left, you can see the top of the fence pulling out, bowing. Well, when I get everything all pulled and tight, we will go back and I'll show you how you get rid of that bow in the ditch. It's pretty simple, pretty cool. But right now we need to get the rest of this up. I have pulled all the way up to this point. Now I need to detach this and get that out of the roll and get it up there. That's where I end. We're on the final roll for the back. All right, it's brought all the way up to the corner. Now I need to go back right there, sew them together, and then we'll pull it. Okay, we're all the way up here to the top. All the T-posts are secure. A nice straight line. Now I got to staple this, and then once I staple that, I'll get that stapled. Then I'll wrap the fence along the edge around the corner a little bit, and then I'll cut it. All right, there we go. That's all stapled on. I don't have my regular hammer. I'm not used to this thing. My hammer's at the house. So now what I'll go ahead and do is go ahead and cut a certain area, and then I'll just fold over the rest of the fence around the post. All secured. How I wrapped it around the pole to help also stop it from unraveling. Next time we got to hit that side. And if I can find the link how I made that, it's just a 2x4. I think it's a 2x8, 3 eye bolts and 5 bolts. Really simple how to make. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description below. Alright, I was going to show you how to tighten up these fences when they're loose. Let me show you what we've got. When you've got a dip on your fence line and you push down your fence to keep it close to the ground, you always make it a little loose on top. See how this one and this one, the next two, kind of got a little loose to it? We're going to tighten that up and I'll show you how to do it. It's pretty easy. All you need is a good set of pliers, and this is what we're going to do. What we're trying to do is make that fence tighter here. By doing that, you're actually going to go ahead and take your tool and you're going to kink it. And as you kink it, you're actually making the distance shorter between all these. Now, because this is pretty bad, I'm probably going to have to kink down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the further down you go, the less kink you do. So it's kind of pulling it, accordion in together smoothly. So we're going to keep our own going. And I kind of alternate, you know, go back and forth to them. And I'll come back over here and I'm going to go down. Now if you look, the fence is kind of bulging out this way a little bit. That's because we've shortened the fence up this way and now it's going to pop out. So what we got to do is the same thing again down here. How's that look? Looks really nice and straight. Look. All right, let's do this next one and we'll be done. This one here is not bad. I'm going to tighten up right here. And I'm not turning much either. Just shortening up the fencing just a little bit. Man, that looks so good. Look at that. Looking perfect, huh? And all you're doing, let me see, so you get a better look at it. This one here was the worst. And you can see how I did 1, 2, and I got really light on this one right here. So I didn't pull a whole bunch, but you can see how much you pull it. Looks like a wave. And I did that one also. But by doing that, let me come all the way up here. All right. Look at these last 3. They're like razor sharp. Simple, easy, guys. So if you ever see your fence sagging and you don't like what it looks like and don't know how to fix it, it's simple. All you can do is just twist your fence. Just a nice good pair of pliers and just give it a nice little twist. And you see, I didn't twist much. And what did each one take? 2 minutes or a minute? This fence looks brand new. There you go. I'm done for now. There you go, guys. We're done with this completely now. And looks good. And now we'll just, when we get some more fencing, we'll go ahead and finish off the next section. All right, this is end of part 2. Take it easy. Bye.